1 with Jack. So,
Come in.
everyone happy?
Jack, how does it feel to be back after your absence?
Yeah, no, really good. It's never nice to be away from the team. Just on a personal note, playing or not, it's just never nice to be injured. So I'm glad that's sort of behind me now, and yeah, looking forward.
What was that period like? It's perhaps quite a unusual absence, would you say?
No, I think it's a common injury that I suppose developed into probably the worst case scenario. So it was a really sudden and unexpected thing. One that thankfully we got on top of very quick. The doctors here and the physios here, as well as the guys at the QE, were brilliant on that new year. And yeah, made probably a faster than most expected sort of recovery. And that's credit to all the guys that have helped out and me doing everything I possibly could to get back as quick as I could.
Are you going to talk us through the symptoms and how it came about and the circumstances?
Yeah.
You set at home or are you in the training ground?
No, it was a recurrence of an injury from like sort of 5 days before. So anyone familiar with a dead leg, it sounds quite innocuous at times, but essentially it's a bleed, an internal bleed, not the life-threatening one that seemed to leak around on social media that forced us to have to come out and cover that. But I'd hit it again, so it ended up bleeding and not stopping. So ended up being one that essentially grew and grew and grew, and the pressure in my leg grew, and my quad at the time was a few gene sizes bigger than what it should have been. So it can get scary at that point. That's why hospital was involved, because if it doesn't stop bleeding, then it goes down the operation route and it's messy and all the rest of it. But thankfully it was one that's then quite simple but stubborn to get through. But like I said, testament to all the guys here and the medical staff and obviously myself and whatever, getting on top of it and putting in the work to get it gone.
Child in the mix as well. It's been quite
Yeah.
a stressful time in the last few weeks.
No, not stressful. No, it's a joy. You know, like yes, injuries are stressful. Anytime you welcome a child into the world, it's a very special thing. So something really special for me and my family, and a baby that's doing fantastic. But you know, when you play football and all the things that come with it, and when you play for Rangers as well, certainly a lot of emotions flying around the last few months. But all good things. That you're playing at a fantastic club and family are fit and healthy, and everything's good.
Putting that work in to make sure you're recovering quicker than
Yeah.
was maybe expected. All worth it, so you can get out there tomorrow on a Europa League night at Ibrox.
Yeah, an ice bath that I got at Christmas. Spent a lot of time in that through the new year, and put the kids to bed and spent a lot of time in that, all that sort of thing, and all the sorts of gear and gadgets you can use to get yourself fit and back on the pitch, back training as soon as possible. So glad I've been able to do that for the last few games, but then no more so than tomorrow. It's going to be a good night.
Jack, the night at Old Trafford probably didn't go the way we hoped for, but how important was it for you to go to Paradise and put on the performance you did and help the team get back and sort of answer maybe people that pointed a few fingers after the way the game at Old Trafford went?
Listen, you're always going to get that. The life of a keeper is a very unforgiving one. You know, I came away from that game at Old Trafford, one of those where you look back on it, you just think you didn't really put much of a foot wrong. You make a lot of saves. I look back on all of it. You know, like from a set play perspective, they're a handful. Caused us all problems that we dealt with pretty well, all in all. Like I say, you make your saves. You look back on the distribution, the passes I made, and the decisions I made, positions I took up. But the life of a keeper, it takes one moment and you're the villain sort of immediately. And the biggest thing from those games is to look back at it, take from it the facts, take from the realities, and for large parts, if not the majority of it, didn't put a foot wrong. So you sort of come away shaking your head in disbelief at times. But being a goalkeeper is like that. There's maximum punishment. You know, I look back at that situation and that goal in particular, and I look at what I did, and what I did was trying to be positive on the front foot, trying to help the team out, and I made the right decision to come. Just executed it, not in the way that I wanted to. So if you're able to look at it like that, with games coming thick and fast, you can quite easily move on. Doesn't mean you forget about it, but you can take comfort in the fact that you were trying to do the right things. You're trying to be positive and you're trying to help out, and then look at the good stuff that I did do.
Was it tough for you going back to Old Trafford? I suppose how you want to go back there and put on a performance and show the people down there what you can do.
No, I didn't see. I just saw it as another great opportunity to play for the club and a great night. I felt extremely comfortable in the game, in the scenario, in a special game with the support that we had. You know, those are the games that you want to play in. I didn't feel any more need to impress than any other. There also aren't many games like that as well. So that goes hand in hand. But no, like I said, I look back on it. We deserve more. That's what it felt like from the game. So you'll always look at it back as an individual. What would it have been? Would it have been any different? But like I said earlier, you look back at all the things that you do during the game, the saves that you do make or the decisions you do make that helped the team. And unfortunately, one moment didn't, and that sort of sticks with you as a keeper.
It's right on the three, Jack. I mean, it takes a special character to be a goalkeeper because you can make a dozen saves in a game, but you make one mistake and it's counted on.
Yep.
When did you kind of learn that it's going to happen? You have to very quickly move on from these things.
Just as you get older, as you mature, now you as you're a young keeper, you think you're never going to make a mistake, and you think it's the end of the world when you do. The reality is there's not a goalkeeper, there's not a player alive, a person alive that's never made a mistake before. They happen. What you do have to think about is how they happen, why they happen, and if there's any reasons for that. And if those things happen while you're trying to do the right things, while you're trying to be positive, and while you feel like you've made the right decision, then you just have to take it on the chin and just move on. Because even a game after, even within a game itself, there's things that you have to do, and that's what I told myself in that moment. You know, the goal goes in, you're in sort of disbelief in that moment, but there was still however long left on the clock, and you always know there's an opportunity A for your team to get back in it, but B, you might be called upon again, and you've got to do the next thing right. So I look back on it as something I actually felt like I did after that. Like I said, that's the life of being a goalkeeper. You can be the hero, the villain, or you can be both in the same game, and that's just the reality of it.
Do these things become a little bit easier to process the older you get, just in terms of putting it on the side and moving on, than it might have been when you were 10 years younger?
You certainly don't care any less. Do you know what I mean? It still hurts the same. It still bothers you the same. But certainly from a process point of view, or a mindset, or it becomes easier. You learn those sort of tactics on how to put it to the back of your mind, whether it's a communication thing, just something tactically, just to get back engaged with the game, or whatever it may be. Just, you know, the old pinch of salt over the shoulder, all that sort of, you know, nonsense that people sometimes believe in, just to put it behind you. It's certainly easier as you get older, but the reality is these things happen. You don't want them to happen, but sometimes they do, and the worst thing you can do is then compound it by not being ready for the next moment, and it's just about being a goalkeeper.
It was a bit cruel finish to the game with the way that
Yeah.
the goals got at the end. I mean, was that softened then when you get back to the dressing room and you learn that the team qualified for the next round?
No, the team we were disappointed. You know, that's the way we were. Whether that was individually, we had boys pick up injuries. It was not ideal for us either. Finished the game with young kids on the pitch and what have you. But the reality is we were still disappointed. You know, say what you like about this squad, we're not satisfied. You know, even, you know, going to Old Trafford last Thursday, it wasn't a case of, oh, we've put on a good performance and we can be happy with ourselves. In the days after, you look back at it and the things you do right, but in the moment you're gutted that you haven't got the result, and one that we deserved. So I think that shows where the mentality is of the squad. I think that's the desire. That is where the feelings are. You know, but we have to keep bringing it, and we have to do that tomorrow.
Last couple, guys.
Players are taking a lot of encouragement from last week, fair to say.
Yeah, we are. But as we sort of spoke, we were still disappointed. So it's not that we're happy with things. It's not that we have to continue to improve. We have to even look at games like that and look at where we can improve. Situations from the game at the weekend where we can improve, which we managed to do at half time and put in a really good second half performance. But we can't settle and be comfortable with performances we put in. We've got to keep looking to be better, and the game at Old Trafford is certainly no different to that.
Last one, Mark, please.
To qualify, obviously you can maybe reach top 8, but if you manage to even get in the top 8 of the next group,
Yeah.
what would it mean to the group going forward, do you think?
It means a lot. These are the games that you want to be a part of. You want to be in these competitions. You want to be at the final stages of domestic trophies, domestic campaigns. You want to be at the top end of it. You want to be in European competitions for as long as you possibly can. So the goal is to win tomorrow night. It's not to qualify. It's win tomorrow night, and where that puts us will be where it puts us, and we'll deal with it after that. We'll either look forward to the playoff round or we'll look forward to the knockout stage, either or. So the focus is on winning the game tomorrow and see where that puts us.
Okay guys, thank you very much everyone. Cheers.